If you want a really good cup of coffee, that's quite a lot of work. You need a scale and a good grinder and know-how and expertise and all of that stuff, and it's a really hard process. But what if there's one espresso machine that can do it all, that is for the pros, but also for absolute beginners? With just a push of a button, you have the perfect cup of coffee every single time, and even foamy milk. Well, this is the LIGRE Youn. I used it, and here's my review. Some of you might think Ligra, never heard of it. Is that some kind of startup? No, it's actually the contrary. Behind it is Kronbach. That's a German company that works primarily for premium kitchen suppliers like Miele, Bora, WMF and Siemens. That's why they could afford to invest 4 years into a coffee machine with new technology and patents. Ligra did send me this espresso machine, but there was no money involved, and I'm free to tell you everything that I noticed. Right from the start, I was super impressed by the attention to detail that went into everything. The website and the packaging look super nice, and the machine comes in a bag that you can use as a shopping bag. Nice, I will add it to my other 30 ones that are in my closet. It even comes with a bag of coffee, and everything is preset, so theoretically the first cup of coffee should taste great. Well, more on that in a moment. The design of the LIGRE Youn is unlike everything else I've ever seen. It actually looks more like an expensive sound system or some sort of science fiction gadget. Very minimalistic, very straightforward. There's this giant circular brewing group, and right next to it a matte touchscreen and only 3 buttons on the top. Everything is built high quality and is made out of matte aluminum. It is made in Austria, to be exact. The design is in no way inferior to established espresso machine manufacturers. It's the contrary. The design is totally easy to clean. Water and coffee usually doesn't even stick to the surface, and you only need one single wipe with a glove. It always looks like you just unbox the machine and put it there. The drip tray and water tank are also dishwater safe. The whole shape is very different. It's not a square like every other espresso machine out there. It's rather flat but wide. This means that there's plenty of space in front of the machine for cups and milk jugs. However, cups cannot be placed on top of the machine, therefore cannot be preheated. On the other hand, there would be no time for that anyway, as the Ligra heats up in 3 minutes. From the moment you turn the switch until it reaches optimum temperature, it's only 3 minutes. That's unbelievable. That is so impressive. Usually an espresso machine takes 15 to 20 minutes to heat up, and that every single day, every single month, every single year, that all adds up. But here it's so fast that I'm barely capable of grinding the beans and filling in the milk, and it's already hot and ready to go. And because of that, it's much more spontaneous to drink a cup of coffee and much more fun as well. I think it's obvious that such a short heating time saves energy. After 15 minutes, it goes into energy saving mode and wakes up even faster from that. This is possible because the brewing group is milled through and equipped with heating cartridges. This also makes it very temperature stable. The special thing about the Ligra is that it has a professional and a beginner mode. If you pull up the button, everything is manual, just like with every other espresso machine. On the display you can see the time, how much milliliter have left the brewing group, so it's volumetric, and you can see the pressure and flowing rate. But when you press down the button, the machine does everything on itself. It measures the volumetric, it can also adjust the pressure and stops automatically. You don't even need a scale. This is a feature that usually only very expensive espresso machines have. There are 3 preset profiles you can choose from in the easy mode. They differ in the pressure curve and the pre-infusion, and I tested all of them with the same bean and the same grind size, and the espresso tasted completely different every single time. Morning Mellow is soft and smooth. Brilliant Bold is very strong and has a lot of character. Vibrant Vigor is rather fruity and sweet. I do think the profiles are a great idea and they also work great. You can clearly taste the difference, but I wish there would be a 4th profile which I can completely customize on my own, so I can dial in the espresso perfectly, because pro-level espresso machines, they do have that feature and it's kind of lacking here. The cool thing for beginners is that you can't really do something wrong with these profiles. The Ligra can save even a miserable grind size. Like a car with lane assist, it keeps you in line. If even that is too complicated for you, there is a complete autopilot. The machine tells you step by step on the display what you need to do, and it even measures whether the grind size is right or you need some optimization. There are built-in sensors for that. I've never seen something like this before, and I personally don't need it, but it's certainly helpful for beginners. The whole thing is hardly more work than a fully automatic machine. You can also start full cleaning programs from the display. It's a very nice concept and the animations are lovely as well. Milk foaming is also unlike anything else I've seen before. You simply select the desired temperature from hot, normal or cold. Then how strong the foam should be. You put the jug underneath and everything else happens automatically. A thermometer stops automatically when the right temperature is reached, and the texture of the milk is great every single time. My setting for oat milk was colder and level 3. But you can also do it completely manual. Then you can see the temperature on the display. I wasn't impressed by the steam pressure. My Ligra Micra is easily 3 times as powerful and the texture therefore even creamier. I also found that the coldest setting in the automatic mode was still a little bit too hot for me. Okay, the machine looks great. It works great, but how does it taste? Well, my first impression was kind of bad, because the Micra beans taste rather classic Italian. And that's not my cup of tea, or coffee to be exact. So I bought some super high quality beans, like my own, and also some other ones to draw better conclusions. As the Ligra stands, I would rate it 8 out of 10 points in terms of taste. My Ligra Micra is a 9.5 out of 10, and an expensive fully automatic machine is 4 out of 10 for comparison. Those capsule things are like a 2 out of 10. In other words, the Ligra tastes full and sweet and fruity, just like in a cafe with a great barista, without you having to know pretty much anything about doing espresso. But the taste is not quite as strong as it could be. I started experimenting with the profiles, duration, pre-infusion, longer extraction. I even bought a precision basket for like 20 euros. This allowed me to improve the taste even more. I would now rate it an 8.5 out of 10. But I have to tell you, I am a coffee snob. I'm hard to please, I have very high expectation, and because of that, I do want to talk trash about the included tamper and distribution tool. Although the tamper in the box is beautiful and super high quality, it doesn't level itself automatically and doesn't have the same pressure every single time because of it. That's why I continue to use mine from Normcore. The distribution tool from Ligra looks good, but it wasn't convincing in the result. That's why I still use the auto comp, and it's not way more expensive. But the real elephant in the room is the pump. It's not a rotation pump like usually used in high-end espresso machines. It's a vibration pump, and that usually is only used in very cheap gear. Ligra has actually managed to overcome the 2 biggest disadvantages of a vibration pump. That is the noise and the lower precision. They were using isolation and sensors. This machine is super quiet, except when it's fully turned up, and also quieter than my Ligra Micra, which is already very quiet. A vibration pump is smaller, and I think it was necessary to achieve this design. However, it's a real shame that a fixed water connection is not possible because of it, so you still need to use the 1.6 liter tank. Ligra has developed its own grinder, which matches the design of the machine perfectly. The 2 look next to each other like they were made out of one piece. There's also a matte display, and you can set everything on it. The special feature of this grinder is that it has a scale. You put in the portafilter and it grinds the perfect amount every single time, and that quite quietly. It works very well. 250 grams of beans fit in the top and they all slide down, nothing gets stuck or anything. However, I have 2 things that bother me. First, the grind discs are only 55 millimeters in size. That's not that impressive for the price, because second, the price is 1,200 euros, which is way too expensive. There are better tasting grinders for less money, but they usually don't have a scale built in and they don't match the design quite as well. But I do prefer the Niche Zero, and I think it looks great next to the machine as well. But I do like to change my beans based on my feeling at that time of day, so I'm very, flexible in that sense. And if you're not, it totally makes sense to buy something like this that is very easy and consistent. I have 3 points of criticism. First, since the whole machine is made out of aluminium, you have to be quite careful with it. Some dents and scratches can happen quickly. My machine already arrived slightly damaged at the bottom corner. Second, normally I clean the basket underneath the brewing group, but the water here runs out so far back that it was hardly possible to do so. Third, there is no single portafilter included, just the basket, so you need to change it every single time. Conclusion: what is the Ligre and what is it not? Well, it is expensive, that I can tell you. Think of a number between 0 and 4,000. You're right, it's exactly 4,000 euros. That's quite a lot, and you still need to add the 1,200 euros for the grinder, which makes it so expensive that you can buy pretty much every other espresso machine out there. And for the pros, those are oftentimes a little bit better. So this thing is only really justifiable if you want that easy mode. You want it easy, you want to press a button, have a great cup of coffee, don't even think about it. For that kind of person, it is the perfect espresso machine. It's way, way better than those, I don't even know what they're called, like those fully automatic things. It's very fast, it is quiet, it is easy, and 99% of people are searching exactly for that kind of thing. It's also built in Europe and very pretty. I only wish that would be way less expensive. See you on the next one. Bye.